Meeting to order of the Human Relations and Aging Committee. I want to first say that I appreciate each and every one of you being here in attendance today. As you know, we always ask you, if you would, to sign our registry so that we know who is here. And particularly if this is your first visit with us, be sure to give us an email so that we have a way of communicating with you about our meetings that may follow from this time on. As we are looking here, I want to thank the members that are here, noting that we do have a quorum present, so therefore we can conduct our meetings accordingly. We have one bill that is on our agenda today, and that is House Bill 226. Representative Sheldon is here, and I may ask if you would go ahead and present your piece of legislation. She. Judge, if you can't get it right, we can't have you on the bench anymore.
For you, House Bill 226. This is a bill that actually we passed last year in the House, and I think it made it through the Senate, and just there was a little technical change, and we didn't make it through the final version back over for an agree-disagree. So we're bringing it back today, and basically what it does is it creates or expands the use of an IDA, individual development accounts. They're IDAs are savings accounts for low-income individuals. And these are savings accounts that are really matched fund-made savings accounts. You have fiduciary organization that is basically the holder of the account, and they can contribute, I think, up to 5-to-1 match. So it allows low-income individuals, especially with disabilities, because this particular legislation includes the use of assistive technology for IDAs. You know, it definitely can be very expensive to retrofit a home or your van for lifts and for ramps in your home to improve independence and accessibility. So, but that's basically what the legislation does. There's no cost to the state. Like I said, there are nonprofit organizations raise funds to help individuals, and this legislation basically is definitely targeted for individuals with low-income individuals with disabilities. So, and I believe we have a couple of experts here to testify. I know Bridget, there's a pilot project, and I'd love for her to share with the committee on her experience.
Okay. Any questions to the author in regards to the bill?
To you, and I have a lot of respect for you, and again, I know you of course have probably thought this through extremely well. But I do have a couple of questions. I really don't understand the bill. I haven't read it. And when questions, and one of the questions I had is talking about accounts, individual accounts. Who is administering those accounts? What are the accounts actually for? Maybe if you can just give me a brevity version of the bill, since I haven't read it.
Well, the fiduciary organizations would basically be in charge of the accounts. Yes, the fiduciary organization, yes.
Working for people with disabilities.
Correct.
And this is just
nonprofit organizations,
right, okay.
kind of,
and this is determining how the funds will be dispensed?
Yes, they would be in charge of, they would actually hold the account. And that's an important distinction we had to make sure in the legislation. It's important that there's a fiduciary organization that actually holds the account, so this way these funds would not be used against, I guess, held as accountable for the individuals that would be used against them for Medicaid or any federal funding.
Representative Scott.
Okay, you said that a fiduciary organization will hold the account. So how will we know the accountability of the funds? How much funds is in an account? How many individuals are covered with the funds? How much of funds will each individual receive? And how will we be able to track the funding? Who's getting the funds and who's not getting funds?
Well, each individual person that qualifies for an IDA, they're basically a separate private savings account for that individual. But with the added responsibility of they would have to be, they're basically not a co-signer, but you'd have two signers on a bill for a check anytime any funds were withdrawn, to ensure that the funds are only used for those purposes as described in the law. down payment assistance, or down payment, higher or education, beginning a small business, and assistive technology.
Okay, and you said that it was no cost to the states. So,
I think he'd like to help maybe.
okay.
I'm Eric Jacobson.
Eric, how about coming around and so that you can be at the mic? And introduce yourself, Eric, to the committee, please.
Hi, I'm Eric Jacobson. I'm the Executive Director of the Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities. And we'll actually, in the legislation, it identifies the council as the rule makers for the bill. And we'll be creating the rules around how it's implemented, and we'll be getting information from each individual development account that will allow us to collect and put together a report around how monies are spent, how they're collected, how much is in each account, and so you actually can hold us as a state agency accountable for the information around all the IDAs. So we'll be able to provide that information for you.
Additional questions, Representative Scott?
Yes, and you mentioned no cost to the states. Well, how would, maybe I missed, how would it be funded? Where would you get the money from to fund this? Maybe I missed it.
I can try to answer that in that actually it comes from an individual's earned income or through their SSI and other ways they get money. The match dollars, then, we're looking for a variety of different sources outside of the state, outside of the state entities, in order to match those dollars. Nonprofits, we've had some discussions with a variety of different organizations. There's also a federal grant that we're looking at to match those dollars, and then our money, the council's money, is all federal dollars. So the creation and the administration will come from the council. So there'll be no federal dollars, no state dollars involved.
Sure.
And the funding basically comes from the individual, from private donations that help for the nonprofits such as United Way, and then the individual, those are just money that they put in their savings account just like we would. But instead of it being, we put in a $1, they would be able to get, that would equal to about 1 to 5 match. So this is a great opportunity. It's a great mechanism and tool to help our low-income individuals with disabilities in particular to improve their independence and quality of life.
Any additional questions to Representative Shelton? Representative Scott?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, will they be homebound or have to be in some type of facility? Could they just live in a normal household and still receive?
The purpose of an IDA is to ensure independence as much as possible. So yes, they can live at home. They could be independent, working citizens that just need a little additional help with assistive technology in particular.
Additional
productive
questions?
citizens,
Representative
essentially.
No, I'm good.
Anyone else with a question to the author? Okay, seeing that, I don't have the sign-in sheet, but do we have someone that would like to speak to the bill? Please, if you would, come around and identify yourself.
Can we, I'd like to just turn it over to Bridget, who will tell you a little bit about the pilot project we've already been doing, if that's okay?
Well, first,
Okay.
I've already
Okay.
identified, but that would be fine. Thank you.
My name's Ann Mintz, and I represent United Way, not only metropolitan Atlanta, but United Ways all over the state. IDA's accounts are nothing new, and many states do have statewide programs, such as the one that's being proposed here, to facilitate IDAs. The whole concept of IDAs dates to, I believe, the 70s. I put together a fact sheet. The Tax Council has it hanging up on their website. But they were put together as an approach, a consumerist approach, if you will, to help people out of poverty. So instead of sending somebody a check, that person can put some of their income into an account, and it's matched. And then United Way, Metropolitan Atlanta has been offering these accounts for way over 10 years. We've had 800 people be able to buy their homes. None have foreclosed. They are a safe mechanism. They are time-tested, and we have not had a statewide fiscal agent to expedite the availability of these to more communities throughout the state. Where they're really helpful is for folks that qualify for that earned income tax credit, and normally what they do is take that lump sum once a year when they get a tax return, and instead of blowing all that money at once, you take it and you put some of that into an IDA plan where it can be matched, and within a couple of years you've got something, an asset that it's either an assistive device, in this case is it technology, a home, education, start a business, or what have you. But these have a long track record, and I don't think you should have even the first concern about fiduciary responsibility for it. I think it'd be fine.
Do I have any questions? All right, seeing none. Bridget? And again, just identify yourself or others for us. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bridget Long. I'm with the Center for Financial Independence and Innovation. My pilot program at Center for Financial Independence and Innovation started back in July. Currently, we had 30 slots. We have 9 participants. We have 21 slots available. Again, the IDA program, primarily we focus on individuals being able to purchase assisted technology. The key component to my program, in addition to the IDA account and the savings, is the financial education, because that is something that we saw that is needed, because after our program they definitely still have to have some type of mechanism to have financial management in order, because down the way there still will be some needs. And so we're teaching them over time how to save their money so that they can be able to purchase those assisted technologies down the way, because every year, of course, you have new computers, new technologies that's coming in that will continue to assist them, especially for those that are starting businesses, because they continue to need those particular objects in order to continue to be independent so that they can make a living for themselves. We also give them counseling as far as their benefits, to make sure that it doesn't interfere with their benefits, because that's something that has come about, and we give them with Benefits Navigator to see how, if any, if it will, but normally it doesn't. Currently, through my program, we are reaching out heavily to the disability community in order to help them along the way, in addition to our program. But financial education is the key piece component to it that they really are getting out. As far as fiduciary organization, SunTrust is the handler for our accounts. It's a custodial account. They're not able to take out of the account unless there's some type of emergency and it has to be approved, and they can get back onto the program after 6 months if an emergency does arrive. But that's primarily what's going on for right now, because it is the pilot program. Any questions?
Any questions to Bridget from committee members? No questions? You did a great job.
Okay, thank
Do I
you.
have anyone else that would like to speak in favor of or against our House Bill 226? Seeing none, Madam Chairman, if you'd like to come back and make some remarks, and also the consideration for the correction.
Okay, great. Thank you, Madam Chair. We have a substitute coming. There was one word change, and I'm sorry, I got a copy that is coming. On page 2, line 49, it's in the definition of lower income household. On line 49, the federal poverty guidelines would be whichever is more, as opposed to whichever is less. But I appreciate Bridget coming in today and sharing with us the benefits and the successes that we're seeing already from IDAs. It is an incredible opportunity that gives individuals an ability to truly make a difference in their lives. And we always talk about personal responsibility, and this one definitely gives citizens an option to definitely to help themselves. And so I ask for your favorable consideration.
Having heard the explanation, do I have any further discussion from our committee members or comments? Seeing none, do I have Any directive? Yes. Well, you first got to move on the amendment. As presented. All right, I have a motion on the amendment and also have, do you want to just make that as a substitute for the bill with that amendment? All right, do I have a second on the substitute as amended? Do I have any comments or discussion in regards to this? If not, the vote is called for the committee substitute as amended with more. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed likewise. The ayes carry it, and it will be as a committee sub, Madam Chair. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Thank you. One item of interest that I need to bring back to our committee has been our Dialogue in the Dark. That will be a committee evening that will take us over so that we will be visiting with the blind and visually impaired and have dialogue and have a meal with them. I do need to know if you will be attending by next Monday so that we can make sure that we have seating provided for each one of our members. So please let me know if you've not already done that. Some of you have told me yes, but we do have to know the exact number so that we can make sure that we have plenty of room for our committee members. And that I need to know by Monday, which is the 7th. The event is March the 10th. And we will be needing to arrive by 6:15, and our tour will start at 7:30 with our meal at 7:15. And we will have Ron Oster, who is the chef at the Rosebud, that will be the chef for the evening, providing the meal. I think it will be a fantastic evening for us. It certainly fits within the mission of our committee, and I'm looking forward for that event, and I hope that each and every one of you will be able to attend. Do we have any comments from those in the audience today? Any of the committee members? Yes.
Bill, because it's not like we have 100 bills in the committee. But as things become busier, as the session goes on, is it possible for us to maybe have bullet points with our bills that we get, so at least if we don't have time, or even if we're negligent and didn't read the bills, that we could at least have a better idea of what's going on with the legislation?
We will certainly work to what that means and see if we can't have you some bullet points. Just be aware that we do try to notify far enough in advance, which this bill was given notification, and we will certainly work towards that mean, and that's a very well taken point.
Yeah, no,
so
I'm
thank you
not
so
at all
much.
criticizing the committee.
Oh, no,
Madam
not
Chair.
taken as
I mean,
such.
it was my fault for not doing my homework on it. But even sometimes if it's laziness or we get inundated or a number of things go on, that might be something I've seen in other committees.
We
that
can
happen with
we can
citizens.
certainly start, Representative, by getting you where it is something that we ask all authors to do, and that is to tell with a very few sentences the explanation for the purpose of the bill, and that gives us an idea to be able to work on. So we can certainly get that to you and hopefully get some better bullet points, because this was a complicated bill. I had to do a lot of studying myself. So thank you for that, and we'll certainly work towards that. Any additional comments or constructive criticism that will make our committee even more reliable upon what we're passing and are considering? Seeing no other comments, this meeting stands adjourned.